Welcome to the ITM Podcast.
This is episode 269 of the ITM Podcast, the official Boston Red Sox podcast of the CLNS Media Network, brought to you by Prize Picks, the exclusive daily fantasy partner of the CLNS Media Network, and the Boston Red Sox. Walk it off on the back of Tristan Cassis, maybe. My name is Joey Copponi. That's Scott Neville. Scott, how you doing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to get my heart rate down. Not only from that, but as that happened, which we totally saw and were able to see.
Yeah.
Also, you just a second ago were like, dude, Cooper Cup to Patriots? And then we're like, oh, never mind. So I thought I had a lot of good thing going there for a good minute, but you were just like, never mind.
That was, that was just nothing. Don't worry about that. That was just my insider texting me. So don't worry about that.
The Commander, that's
Are we is this an NFL free agent live special that I wasn't informed of? Tristan Cassis, maybe. I have to figure out what happened here. So I was watching the game today,
Did you
right?
just see it?
Yeah, so I was watching the game today, right? And I just kept watching and watching with my eyes on the screen. You know, LEDs, RGBs flashing in my eyes. My brain flipping the image because it comes into your eye upside down. Do you know that?
Of course. What do you mean? Excuse you?
The image, when it hits the lens of your eye here.
Yeah.
And then it flips and it hits your retina upside down. Whoa. And then your brain reinterprets it to look right side up. So just remember, you're always seeing upside down. Your brain's telling you, oh, it probably actually looks like this. As I was watching Nesson thinking that, I realized this isn't today's game. This is the 1976 Red Sox playing God knows who. They're not on television, Scott. They're just not playing the games at all. I came on this show with a tirade about Nesson, about how I couldn't watch Nesson. Do you remember all this? 3 hours I spent on the phone with Xfinity. And you're like, oh, you were trying to upgrade. I was trying to cancel. It. I was like, I don't need you guys anymore. I'm just going to get Nesson elsewhere, canceling Xfinity. You'd think that would be like, I don't know, a button. I spent a day making sure I had Nesson on my television. And then I tweeted about how, like, wow, they're just not on, huh? And somebody was like, oh, they're on Saturday. I tweeted that Tuesday. Are they not? They're not televising these at all. Like, in my memory, there's like one a week that it's like, they don't have this one.
Yeah, you're not missing much this year. And you're right, it is different than years past. I don't know what's going on. I thought they were doing a lot of games on, like, Nesson 360, and that was why. But that doesn't even really seem to be the case either. So I'm just confused. There's also been a lot on, like, 7 News this year. Not a lot, but, like, half of them, which have been, like, of the 4 games that we've been able to see. There's been a few just on, like, a random like, Channel 7 type of thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do they have it? What feed are they using? Is Nesson just broadcasting it only to them?
I don't know, man. It's never on Nesson when it is on, and maybe they're getting some away feeds somehow. I don't know.
I have a hard time believing that a spring training Red Sox game wouldn't still get more viewership than any other garbage they put on that network.
I mean, today, to your point, they were showing having kids interview Bruins players and asking them their favorite player growing up and such, and with a, like, generic third grade snow background. So I think the game would have beat that.
Probably would have, yeah. They play promos from live promos from Bruins games. They play Nesson Kids Clubhouse. You got Charlie Moore Outdoors, The Mad Fisherman, and you got, like, car shows that are definitely piped in from another network. What's the food one? Phantom Gourmet, is that them?
Yeah.
End
I
of
think
list.
so.
I think so too. I'm not positive. I feel like it's on UPN, but I feel like UPN doesn't exist anymore.
I've never heard of that.
Wow, too young for UPN.
Is any chance that's like a New Hampshire thing?
No, the UPN's what the Sox used to be on. Sox were on UPN when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, I definitely missed that window. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's since I've been alive, or at least watching games.
And then UPN became the CW. That's what
Oh,
UPN is.
I know the CW. So the CW used to have Red Sox,
Every Red Sox game. Yeah.
and then they went into like high school dramas
Well,
and
then they
superhero
had
shows.
like SmackDown. They were WWE for a little bit.
Oh, they've gone
Yeah.
through a lot of changes, and now they are just now it's Riverdale and Arrow and the Flash. That's
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. I don't know when they decided to jump ship to do that, but that's what
Congratulations for making those pivots because I didn't know that I didn't have trouble adjusting to those because I didn't know they did it so well.
it's
Wow.
like the opposite of what ABC Family did. They were like, we're tired of being the channel that makes shitty movies and plays reruns of shows. So we're going to rename ourselves Freeform. And then we're going to make shitty original movies and play reruns of old shows. And it's like, I don't know what you
Dude,
didn't have to.
you're teaching me so much right now. I did not know that Freeform used to be ABC Family. I guess I
That was
just am.
ABC
I'm
Family.
not. I'm getting tricked by all of these rebrands. I had no idea.
So remember the Boston Americans?
Of course, yeah. I used to go watch them.
Dude, that's the fucking Red Sox.
There's no way I would have missed that.
I swear, Fenway Park. Remember they played at Fenway Park? They wore
I did
red.
think that was weird. Yeah.
And Alex Cora was the manager.
Yep.
That's why, yeah, the same team, dude.
Rebrands.
Speaking of rebrands, everybody on the Boston Red Sox is rebranding themselves as a sick version of themselves. Everybody's getting ill. How about that for a segue?
I was thinking about literally just thinking that whole time. Just wow. Okay, I guess it worked.
Roman Anthony got sick a little bit back. He's been back now for a little bit. Alex Cora had that cool quote. I don't know why this quote really did something for me when he was like, his job right now is to eat. I was like, that. I don't know why that was like, I don't know. Just on paper, I was like, good quote. Now it has hit Connor Wong, removed from the game with illness.
That's kind of crazy,
especially for a guy like Connor Wong. A gamer.
Spring training, he may have a looser.
I think he has one setting.
Most people do.
Yeah, he seems like a one setting fella. Willie or Brayu? In a hospital somewhere? Do we know?
I was trying to figure out. The only thing I know is that he said that he lost weight from sickness, but it's going to help him because he's in better shape. And I don't feel like
that's usually how that works. You get so sick, you get into better shape.
You get frail, and then you're like, perfect. Now I can hit it harder.
You're looking great, man. Were you sick recently or something?
Yeah. Wow, you look sickly frail.
And the thing with Willier that we've always talked about is like, get the speed up. We need his speed up and power down.
I don't understand. I mean, it inherently makes sense, but like there's been enough people that have done it where you see in all sports, you see the speed guy try and put on weight and just get slower and not as athletic. You see power guys try and thin down and it doesn't, they get an extra step and they hit 7 less home runs. Mm-hmm. I mean, in football, every running back that runs fast tries to add 15 pounds after their rookie year, and then they just become a slow running back. You just can't. It doesn't always work like that. I get it being like, okay, speed, check, now let's get bigger, but it's kind of like a sliding scale, unfortunately. And I really
it's like you're good at one. Like, do that one.
Get really good at that
that's
one.
what I keep thinking every time I see another report that's like, wow, David Hamilton really looks big. Like, I don't need him big.
I respect that, like, Lance Lynn just got fatter every year.
Yeah.
And because he was just like, I'm mass equals gas, and we're going to continue to add mass the rest of my career.
And there's a right amount to add. You should come back, unless you're like, I don't know. This is not. I wasn't. I swear to God, I was going to say this. I wasn't throwing shade at anybody in particular, unless you're, I don't know, a third baseman. You should come back a little fatter every year.
If you're a power guy.
Tristan Cassis, every year, people should go like, he's putting on a few pounds. Wow. Like disappearing jawline every year until like one day somebody who's not a local guy, a fan, turns the game on and goes, "Oh my God, is that Tristan Cassis? What happened?" Anyway, so Willier's here. I'm going to reapply it. Willier's job now is to eat.
He doesn't want to, though. He thinks he looks slim.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it is. He's like, no, this is good. And it's just that he's like, he likes the way he looks. You mentioned this before we went live, that he said that quote through a translator.
Yeah, I don't. That was a quote. It's from Christopher Smith, although I believe he credits Spear in here. Yeah.
Gun to my head, I would have told you Willier Abreu speaks English. I definitely feel like I've heard him speak English before. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a Mandela.
Now I'm having trouble even finding the part where I said that. But Abreu said through a translator, Davis and Perez on Friday.
That's right. Davison is the head translator now. Shout out Davison.
I still have 3 or 4 weeks here while I still can get some good work in and be ready. The circumstances are what they are, but I feel I still have plenty of time. I definitely lost a little bit of weight, but in all honesty, I think it might have helped me a little bit because I feel I'm more informed than I was. I know it was a sickness or whatever you want to call it, but I think that weight loss has kind of helped me a little bit.
Sure. Spin it up, brother. Why not? Real quick story before we move on to something. I committed the biggest media faux pas with Davison Perez that I think about all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I got a media faux pas after, but go ahead.
He came up to me and he's like, "Joey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "What's going on, man? Good to see you. What's up, dude?" And he goes, "Do you remember me?" And I went, "Not really. No. Sorry, I don't know. No. Have we met? Are you sure we've met?" And he goes, "Yep." I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." And I took a quick glance down at his name tag because he was wearing one, and he like stopped me and was like, "Davison." I was like, yeah. For the love of God, I don't know. It's one of those like keep you awake at night moments that like you just roll over and try to shout the thought out of your head.
Do you remember it now?
The second
first interaction? No, the first interaction.
No.
Still no.
No. I mean, should I have lied there? Actually, wait, try it again.
Oh, now that you had that interaction, do you remember the first interaction?
Oh, yeah. God, man, we were like, yeah. It's kind of, I don't think it's a safe for air story, but yeah, no, it was sick. It was a good time. The memories and stuff. So
where
just
was
kind of
it?
thinking,
Where did you meet him for the first time?
I don't know if he wants me to say all that. So,
well, okay, but like,
it was a good time.
Field?
And shout out Davison Perez, my favorite translator of the Red Sox. I love all the memories we have together, and I definitely don't shout the anxiety out of my brain at 3 a.m. when I roll over. My brain's like, "Remember that time you looked him in the eye and said you didn't remember him?" So shout out Davison. Also, while I got you, Scott.
Okay.
While you're here, dude, don't go anywhere. Don't hang up yet.
Yeah.
I just want to remind you that Prize Picks is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. Prize Picks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players' stat projections for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Run your game all season long on Prize Picks. Join the over 10 million users and sign up today. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports. Combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball, hockey, esports, and much more. Scott loves the Overwatch League, RIP. The second half of the basketball season is here, and the race to the playoffs is heating up on Prize Picks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Whoa, Joe. Instantly? Like, do I need to win? No, it's guaranteed. Use code CLNS, get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. Lucas Giolito hurt himself on his first pitch of the spring. Yep, Scott?
Before you go, I had an Uber driver this weekend talking about how he randomly brought up Prize Picks. He was talking about he was talking about the Bruins trades and then the Red Sox and then like how he used to use Prize Picks like last season, and he was talking about Rafaela, like strikeouts were like a guarantee. And he was like, they had this promotion, and I was like, Taco Tuesday, and he was like, "Yep, I swear to God,
fucking way."
I was like, I get to do it. I was like, unbelievable. And then I looked at Monster. I was like, I do that every week on the. Like he was telling me about it. I was like, I know the ad read. It was so funny. Like it was just one of those moments where I was like, I wish you were there for that.
Did he go, oh my God, yeah, Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, Prize Picks discounts select player stat projections to add even more value to your lineup?
More or less, yeah.
That's bananas. I would have shrieked if I was in that Uber, which I almost kind of was.
You could have been, yeah, but that's unfortunate. You were about halfway there. Joey was going to hang out with me, and he turned around halfway. That's how much he didn't want it.
It wasn't quite halfway.
I
was low on gas. I stopped at a gas station. The gas station was closed. And I was like, I got to find another gas station. I'm pretty tired.
Just go north, I guess, then.
Might as well go north. The thing is, too, the way that we planned it, I would have had to go to your house and drop off my stuff. Mm-hmm. And I know if I got to your house with an air mattress in tow, I probably would have just gone to sleep.
Again, not a great, compelling defense for yourself. You bailed on me, and even if you had made it to the first checkpoint, you would have bailed on me there. So, all right. No, my fault. I shouldn't have even brought it up.
I wouldn't say I bailed on you. I wouldn't say it like that. What I would do is reframe
what would you
it.
say? Mm-hmm.
No, I would just reframe it.
But you acknowledge that you're saying you're reframing it. So you're acknowledging that it has to be rebranded, which apparently will work on me. So go ahead.
I would rebrand it as a temporary rescheduling due to unforeseen circumstances.
They weren't unforeseen. You just got a little tired.
Lucas Giolito hurt himself on the first pitch of the spring.
In almost a year. Yeah, over a year or whatever.
Yeah, over a year. The thing is, he's been throwing baseballs for so long.
This one counted, kind of.
Yeah, but how much extra is in the tank that you're not throwing in live BPs or in simulated at bats or simulated games or whatever they're doing? Every pitch that he's thrown, it's how much more did you dial it up for your first spring training pitch? I guess it wasn't even his arm; it was his leg.
He's barking.
Yeah, he said he's had a lot of issues, or not issues, but I've felt strains in my hamstring before. This is a minor one. Forgive me if I'm wrong here, Scothew. Please tell me if you remember him saying a very similar thing last year when he got hurt. Do you remember him being it's minor. It doesn't feel like that big of a deal.
I remember what I'm remembering, and these two people weirdly are similar to me in my brain. I remember James Paxton with a hamstring doing this exact same thing. I don't remember Lucas Giolito. Let's see. I did game with
look
injury.
Look it up.
I'm trying to see if
I vaguely remember, but could be incorrect that last year he had a similar thing where he was it's not that big of a deal. I think I'm good. And then he missed the whole season. I'm not saying that he's in for the same kind of thing. This is also his hamstring versus his what was it, his elbow last year?
Yeah, Tommy John, so kind of a bigger one.
Kind of a bigger deal.
Kind of a big one. The problem is all these articles.
Was it full on TJ? Or did he have like the brace? Asking you a lot of questions here.
I know, dude. Right? Which one was it? That's crazy.
Here, I'll do it. I'll do it faster. If I'll ask the internet instead of you.
It's an elbow surgery.
Oh, thank you, man.
The brace. It was included a brace.
It was the internal brace repaired. It was right elbow on his UCL. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, the Google search you gave me was significantly harder than did John Giolito have Tommy John surgery.
2024.
What did you want me to look up? Lucas Giolito injures arm, says no big deal, no biggie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it was just some hamstring tightness. I don't believe we've got anything definitive on him yet
today. So
we did get something definitive on Brayan Bello. He will not be ready for opening day. It's not a problem because he's not starting on opening day anymore. But he should be back in April, which is like no time at all after opening day. So he might miss 4 starts max?
Yeah, if that's the true timeline, yeah.
Which I feel like they wouldn't give a timeline this early unless they felt good about it. But maybe that's just some spring training optimism. Maybe I'm just feeling good about the fucking Sox. And I don't really want to be hearing negative news. I'm rebranding everything that comes my way to be positive, except for Kutter Crawford being out. That one I can't rebrand as positive. That one just stinks. I care a lot more about seeing Kutter have a good year than Bello having a good year.
Wow.
Bad to say?
Yeah, and not in like I don't think it's. I don't know. It just feels like if you had said I believe in one versus the other, but rooting for one to have a better year versus the other feels a little different. I don't know why.
I think what I would say is Kutter, higher floor, lower ceiling. Bello's ceiling is very high, but the odds of him touching it are narrow.
By the day, diminishing.
And I think Kutter can play at his ceiling for an extended period of time. Like, I think we've seen it. I think we've seen Kutter touch his ceiling, and I want to see him like maintain there because it's awesome to see a guy who is not expected to be in the position he's in be there and excel. I think that's really cool. Versus watching a guy who we expected to be there and has fallen short of expectations over and over again, and now just being like, with Kutter, it's a surprise and it's a bonus. Every good start is a bonus from Kutter Crawford, and every good start from Brayan Bello feels like, cool. Can he keep this up for a little bit? He had the 2 months in. I don't even remember if that was last year or the year before. There was that 2-month stretch where him and Big Maple. Why can't I think of his name? We just said his name. James Paxton. Jeez Louise. We're like the only good Red Sox pitchers, period. So that was cool-ish.
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago. And that's it. So Bello, it just feels like
unfortunately, well, actually maybe this will work out. Bello, if you remember last year, started off hot and then he got injured, kind of fell off a little bit. Maybe if he delays the start of his season, he'll stay hot for the season.
Maybe.
Did it feel
believe
like
that when you say it?
No, clearly. I think that was obvious.
Yeah. It would be cool if Brayan Bello was good. I just it's been, what is it? Is this his 3rd season now?
I think so. He's had 2 full ones and then one where he came up in June, right? or something like that.
Yeah, so he made his debut in 22. So yeah, 2 full seasons, 23 and 24. ERA plus of 107 in 23, and that was really because of those 2 months where he was fucking awesome. And 95 last year.
I think, it's one of those things with him where I'm, I think of him as a back end guy that, again, has potential, whatever. At this point, I don't really care about potential. It's just, if he does it, he does it. That'd be great. But, neither of us are super high on him. So the expectations are just kind of, fair for him, I think, from us.
I would be very excited if he reached his potential. I'm not waiting on bated breath for it, I guess is a better way to put it.
Yeah, we have not been on that train for a while. Neither of us.
So from April 29th to July 5th, 2023, 12 starts, he had a 2.35 ERA.
Pretty cool. He had a good run at the beginning of the year, last year too. Remember the whole rotation had like a 0 ERA?
Yeah, I do remember that when they just like accidentally stumbled into having the best pitching staff in baseball.
And everyone
it was okay. It wasn't as good as I remember it, honestly.
Bello?
Like, yeah.
The whole team. Okay, yeah.
Just Bello.
They just were like, hey, we're just going to stop throwing fastballs. And then everyone else was like, oh, wow, they just changed the game.
Yeah, it's a very small window here.
That was fun. That was fun when we thought like, oh, get rid of fastballs, and that's it. We did it. We fixed it, and no one else is catching on. So this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. It lasted for a minute, though. That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
You know what's not cool?
Doing drugs.
Yes. Skipping school.
Yeah. Not doing your homework.
Oh. Lying to your parents.
What else we got?
Blowing the janitor under the bleachers.
Okay. Turned it up a notch on that one.
All right.
What was you got a segment or something?
Mass executions of political leaders. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
And if you're gonna do it, don't do it on school property.
Garrett Cole needs Tommy John. Wow. How about that? How funny that he opted out of his Yankees deal and was, I guess, expecting to like test the market, or was like calling the Yankees bluff because he was threatening to test the market and would not have passed a physical anywhere. That's why that weird shit happened where he opted out. The Yankees said no, and then he said, never mind, I opt back in. It's insane. Insane. Also, the balls to go and test the Yankees like that. Because what if when he had said, I want to opt back in, they said, no way, dude, we've seen your elbow. No way. $34.5 million for you to sit at home this year? No.
I didn't even think about that element of it. But I will say, I actually don't like, a lot of people dunk on Garrett Cole. I want to beat the Yankees as is. It's more fun. Garrett Cole's the only one you really want to root against on the Yankees, I feel. There's really not a
DJ. I don't like DJ.
Sure, but if Carlos Rodon is up in a big game in September, it's like, it's not that I like him. It's just that's just anybody. Luis Heel, I just don't care. I care about the game and I care about winning, but with Garrett Cole, it's like he's getting, every time he gives up a hit, the entire Red Sox fan base is tweeting about it, laughing at his face and making fun of him. Every time they beat him, there's this huge fanfare. That's not going to happen when, maybe Stroman, but even then, he's kind of not a Yankee to me.
That's the thing is, it's going to be replaced with Stroman.
Yeah, but he's not even a Yankee.
Yeah, it's not quite the same. Don't get me wrong. I didn't even really think about how much fun I'm going to miss out on not laughing at Garrett Cole all year. But like, what I don't feel is this kind of like, if head to head, what do they play 14 times now? If head to head, the Sox go 10-4 against the Yankees this year, I'm not gonna feel like, oh well, it wasn't the full strength Yankees.
Certainly, no, I totally get that. They will be saying it.
It's one pitcher. It's one pitcher.
Yeah, sure.
Every 5 games, he pitches 5 to 6 innings. It's not your whole team.
I will say, and it's not. I'm certainly not the first person to say this. It does feel like the division is very much even right now between, like, honestly, I think Red Sox, Yankees, Orioles is pretty even. And honestly, the Orioles, I hate their pitching staff. Like, I am so unintimidated by their pitching staff. And I don't know. It's a whole different, that injury really feels like it levels some things out. And it's hard to, I actually liked a lot of the things they did post Soto, but it's really hard to make your team better when you lose Juan Soto and Garrett Cole in the same offseason, and one of which you paid $36 million a year for.
I jokingly said on Twitter that you know, the Yankees could all contract pneumonia. I don't know. I was trying to think of something serious, but not too serious. Lymphoma? No, that's a cancer.
No. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Emphysema. That's the word I was thinking of.
Okay, that's specific.
It's like breathing. Yeah. So the Yankees could all in tandem develop emphysema, and Fangraphs would be like, "Yeah, they're probably going to win the World Series." They are the favorites to win the division on Fangraphs right now.
What is do they have their percentages to make playoffs and stuff like that? What do we got here?
Guess their percentage to make the playoffs?
Well, if they're the favorites, then I would say 68?
62.5.
Okay.
Which is still insane.
What are the Red Sox? Because they were like
55.
51. Okay, so they jumped up. Okay. I think that's probably the right amount of jump up, but I don't even disagree with. I think it's closer to 60 at this point, but
it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know, like the Yankees don't have a team.
I completely agree, but here's what I will say. The Yankees last year, I looked at and I said, this team sucks. They have 2 players. I mean, 3 when you include Garrett Cole, but on their daily lineup, they have 2 hitters. And they
had like 3, I guess, if you want to count Stanton.
I don't really. I mean, yeah, you can. But, I mean, this year they lost Soto and Stanton. Looks like he's going to play at most a couple months. And I honestly don't know if that's even going to happen. It's tendonitis in both elbows. I can't imagine that's an easy return. Yep.
Stanton last year played 114 games, a 115 OPS plus.
No, he was good.
Well,
he just struck out a lot, so it's just in my head. I think of those guys as not like the hardest outs, but yeah, definitely an above average hitter. I mean, I don't know. They had a horrible lineup last year. You lose Soto, and you lose Stanton for the foreseeable future. If Jason Dominguez doesn't come in as the best player on the planet, that lineup should struggle. Defensively, they didn't do much to get better, if anything, really. They might have even gotten worse, and they were already so bad last year. I do like their pitching staff even without Garrett Cole, but yeah, that's about it. I mean, I don't know. I think we have the better all-around team, I think, for sure.
I 100% agree. A complete disrespect here to the Orioles, 18.3% chance to win the division. That's
too low, but I do think they're going to have some. I mean, you lost Corbin Burns and that rotation is tough.
I mean, the Orioles have closer odds to the Rays than they do to the Red Sox.
What is the Red Sox division chances?
24.3.
I'm gonna take the over on that.
A 1 in 4 chance. Like I think that's absolutely bull, dude.
But I mean, dude, the Orioles are relying on some age. They have Zach Eflin, which is okay, whatever. Dean Kremer, okay.
The cream machine.
Charlie Morton, who is, I don't know, 71.
I think he just turned 71.
And then Tomoyuki Sagano is also, 34, I think. 35, I'm sorry. In his first year in the big leagues. And I believe he throws like 78. What's his fastball? I think it's like actually like averaging under, sits in the low 90s. Yeah, he reached 98 in college, so never mind. He's 35, but it says he threw 98 in college. I'm pretty sure he's going to be throwing 88, 89 out there, if I had to guess. So really good control, but groove them to our guys. I don't know. I'm not as worried about the Orioles as I used to be.
I mean, their fall off on the pitching side of the ball is actually kind of fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, new owner," so they're just going to immediately re-sign Burns, probably like the day he gets traded. And it was like if you remember, the ownership change happened, and then Burns was traded for like the next day, and then it was like, "Oh no!" Like they have money now and the farm system, and then the offseason happened. They were like, "We're not." No, the money. You guys jumped the gun there. Let's get a couple guys out of here. We don't even forget that. We got a switch hitter that hit 40 home runs and an ace, and no longer. There's a lot of Orioles talk.
You got more in you?
I could go forever, but there wasn't really any news attached to it, so it felt a little out of place.
Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. Empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott. What do you got? It's time to empty your brain of thoughts with Joey and Scott.
All right, Scott. I'm going to go first because I got one.
Good.
It's been a while since I've just had one ready.
Yeah, you never have.
No, not really. Not often.
Not this offseason, I don't think.
Not
I don't think
the
you've had
offseason.
one this offseason. Yeah.
No, because the show is emptying my brain of thoughts during the offseason most of the time.
True.
But this feels
Fair.
like an accurate this is what emptying your brain of thoughts should be. Let me set the tone. Let me show you how it's fucking done. The new documentary trailer dropped. It's sick. It's sick. I have been critical of the release, and I probably still will be, because I'm not going to change my mind that April 8th or whatever it is still insanely stupid, just in the middle of a Blue Jay series.
Yeah.
I feel like that show, you and I are just going to talk about the series a lot more than we're going to talk about the documentary series.
Yep.
So I'm still against that, but trailer looked sick. I think I'm singing a new tune. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be a lot more behind the scenes than we have seen before. I know that's kind of been how they've been marketing it. Seems like they weren't lying. I'm excited about it.
My only reaction, and I agree with you, it's a sick premise. I watched the trailer. You just tweeted out from our account, and I was like, interesting.
Yep.
My only thing, though, is I'm just so distraught that it was last year, not this year, because cool, but we know how the season ends, and it's not fun, and I think the worst case scenario is you get an 81 and 81 team when you make that documentary, because you want it to either be about just an explosion or a great team. 81 and 81, it's got to be a bad outcome. I mean, for me, what we always talk, what the media always talks about, you want either a really good or a really bad team.
Yeah. You want an interesting team, an entertaining team. And there was a lot of times last year where they fell short of that mark.
I just think it would have been so cool if they got it this year. Are they doing another team this
Yeah.
year, or is it just
They
like
are. They got like I don't know who it is, but the last I heard, they had like a 4-year deal with Major League Baseball, and they
Yeah.
were going to do 4 teams, and they already announced what the teams were. But I haven't heard a lick about who it is. Do you want to look that up, dude? Since you're the historian now? That's not the word at all, but want to look it up?
yeah, I mean, I'm not good at
pretty
this
sure
stuff.
I remember hearing it was going to be the Cubs. I don't know if that's this year or one of the other years, or if this was so behind schedule and over budget that they just canceled the whole thing. Anything?
I'm not seeing anything about April 30th, Netflix release for Chicago Cubs documentary. I think this is different. Netflix release date for Chicago Cubs documentary. You can also see this on YouTube and Tubi. I just bought this. This doesn't look like... Nope, this is a World Series tape. I'm not seeing anything.
I think I got it here. Man, I could have sworn I saw this, dude. I could have sworn it was like the first of a 4-year deal.
I thought that was... I mean, I don't remember 4 years, but I thought this was supposed to be like almost like a Hard Knocks. But I can't find a singular thing. Well, they did make the deal with Fenway Sports Group, so that's kind of like maybe we're just tripping. I think your thoughts gone off the rails a little bit, and we should just, punt.
Yep, yeah, go for it. What's yours?
Oh, I got nothing. But I think we're looking for an article that doesn't exist right now.
You don't have any thoughts to empty out of your brain?
Nah, no thoughts. My only thought was that you abandoned me on Saturday, but we already did that.
I don't think I did.
I think you did. I think most people would argue that it would be bailing when somebody is literally on their way there, halfway there. I'm definitely going to be there. Halfway there, and then it's like, never mind. But it's okay. I'm clearly over it, so it doesn't even matter. So, like, it's fine. Like, I didn't even care. I was fine with it.
Perfect. No, I'm glad you are. I'm glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
You can follow us on the socials at ITM_pod. You can follow me at Joey Copponi. You can follow him at Scott Neville 46. Just like the numbers you type in to turn on UPN. Maybe. We'll be back next week. And what? Oh, I thought you were raising your hand. You weren't?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week. For Scott Neville, I'm Joey Copponi. Go Sox, kid.